So instead of this being a what's in the bag, we're going to call this a what should be in the bag. Welcome back to Golf Test Dummy, you guys, and another episode of Sundays at 3 with GTD. I appreciate you guys showing up. Playoff football in the States here in the United States has been going on, but now we have actually a week off in between, the last playoff game and the Super Bowl, which is coming next week. So maybe this week you're a little bit bored, you got nothing to do, so it's a perfect time to tune in at 3 o'clock on a Sunday and join me. So normally you guys are asking me a lot of questions and I'm giving you my answers back. And I'm going to get to some of that today, but I've got a question for you now, and it involves my bag full of clubs. I want to get to some of your questions first, so let's get started. The first question is from Mark Irwin. He says, "Nice, loved your test on the MaxFly golf balls. I actually am going to play them this year. I asked the salesman at Dick's Sporting Goods, and he said they are the #1 seller." I appreciate that very much. Thank you for that. The MaxFly golf ball review that I did was on the MaxFly Straight Fly. And the claims that they made on that package were that the ball would fly 25% straighter, and I did a full-on course review, and I actually played those golf balls for quite a while. I have not been playing them lately just because I've been playing just random mixes of golf balls that I have that I've bought used. That's an oldie but goodie. That was probably, that's got to be close to 8 or 9 months ago at this point when I did that review, and it's good to know that people are still able to go and find value in that video. If you haven't seen that review, go back and check it out. All right, the next one is from Kim Stock out in Australia. He says, "You deserve some sponsorship for all your effort while doing these informative videos. I need a new glove too." He's referring to the Bionic Gloves partnership that I've started. I'm including a promo code in all my videos down below. You can click the link, use that promo code GolfTestDummy, get 15% off. My Golf Affair has a great YouTube video on single length irons. At some point, I'm going to have to get some single length irons from somebody somewhere for at least about 4 hours so that I can go try them on course and give them a shot. He has a review on Wishan's EQ1-NX hollow-bodied single-length irons. Now, the hollow-bodied, that kind of, to me, when I think of hollow-bodied, I think of the TaylorMade P790 irons they're just a huge success, hugely popular. I've never actually gotten a chance to try those irons, but I'd love to get my hands on those. He mentions the TXG channel video on the single length irons and the carry distance gaps being the key to making those work. That plus avoiding the long irons in the set, 4 and 5 and possibly the 6 if your swing speed is mid to low. So you're supposed to swap out the single length hybrids, I guess, for your long irons, which is what a lot of people do in conventional sets as well. This won't be the only question and comment on single length irons I can tell you in this, so we'll get into a little bit more of that. Let's see what's next. All right, this next one is from Robin C. He says, "Reach out to Brian Sparks by email. He really is one of the nicest men I have ever met. He has a calmness that is catching and is still learning every day. I'm sure he would love to take a look at your swing, and like others say, one of his main focuses is staying injury-free and playing golf into old age. His swing gives you speed through timing, tuning, and motion, not compression and stretching. Torque and back pain, all the best." Robin, I've seen a lot of Brian's stuff, and I may end up reaching out to Brian at some point to see if he would respond back to me. He does appear to be an extremely nice and considerate person, and I think that if I reached out to him, he may respond. However, at this point, working with Sean, I know that they share a lot of commonalities, their swing and their approach to how the golf club should be swung. However, at this time, working with Sean, I'm really not trying to get anything else in my brain right now that will mess me up and derail the process. So, I'm going to see where this takes me, and from there, then I'll figure out another way. But I would love to talk to Brian and pick his brain at some point. I'm sure that he's got just loads of great information. The next one is from Sean Keating. "Good work, GTD. I enjoy your speak about swing methods, equipment, and your success and struggles with golf. I'm curious, do you have any original protocols or ideas on the swing of your own? I'm a huge fan of Jim V, but have made his swing my own over the years." Protocols for my own swing. Again, I've got to go back to 2 videos that I made prior to Sean contacting me and me starting the Wisdom in Golf approach. I was working on developing my own personal swing. What I felt like after all of the work that I've done with these different methods and talking to different teachers and just studying all of the different ways through things that maybe I haven't even done a formal review on, that I've just researched myself for my own knowledge on YouTube or in books or magazines or on Google. I was actually working on trying to just come up with what is my core values, and one of them was that the right hand just kind of mimics the club face, and if you take it away and bring it back and then bring it right back through, you're aware of where your club head is at all times, at my practice swing speed, and then my actual ball striking swing speed and effort levels should match. So that nice, smooth, sort of effortless practice swing that you make is all great until you step up to hit the ball, and then it just becomes this, sort of effort-filled thing. So one of my protocols was actually to make my practice swing speed match my real swing speed. And that doesn't mean to get up with your practice swing and try and, chop down a tree with one blow either. It's more of your intentions become what you need for the actual strike when you rehearse it in the practice swing. But, I just kind of ceased all of my work on that as soon as this happened. And maybe I'll get back to that at some point and I'll try and put that together. But for now, it's an unfinished canvas of work. Gator Golf USA reached out and said, we appreciate being appreciated. Of course, mentioning the fact that I'm trying to let you guys know just how much I appreciate you in all of the videos. The fact that you're here with me and that you give me such good feedback and all the positivity and the encouragement and just the support for the channel and everything that I'm doing and the understanding and taking the time to go through and watch the videos and actually pay attention to what's happening rather than just watch it for 30 seconds and make an opinion and post a negative comment like I see so often on so many other channels. So I appreciate that, Gator. Next is from Ohio Golf Vlogs. He says, I honestly had no idea who Danny Maud is, so I obviously missed the joke of the impression. So he's referring to the very beginning of last Sunday's episode where I came in and I was just like, man, I can't believe that you guys didn't give me some kind of kudos for my Danny Maud impression. I just thought, it was absolutely spot on and perfect. And if you've ever gone and seen any Danny Maud's videos, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And now that this is released, I hope that you saw my Thursday video where I told you about the new clubs that I got and what a great deal I got on them. If you haven't seen that, go back and watch Thursday's episode. And I've got what I think is a very accurate representation of James Robinson, poking a little fun at James Robinson. Again, I think I did myself on that one, but, I impressed myself a lot. All right, you know what? This is a good time to take a break from the Q&A, and now I want to go to the question that I have for you. So my question here, we're going to do this as a multiple choice. We're going to do a couple of options, okay? Instead of this being a what's in the bag, we're going to call this a what should be in the bag. So option A is to keep the entire set that I have, but just re-grip all of the clubs to a jumbo or a mid-size grip, something thicker, something all-weather, so that all the grips match in the set, and just stick with everything that I've got and just say, hey, it's good enough for me right now. Or option B, should I try and change out the irons, the wedges, and the putter? Or a set that is more geared toward me, something that's more forgiving, maybe a step up in performance as far as the irons go, and something that I can really work with the wedges and just try the new putter out to see if maybe it's a little bit different. Maybe I find some kind of really a groove where I'm making more putts. Or option C, just change out the wedges, re-grip the rest of the set, and stick with the putter that I have. Let me know in the comments below what your recommendation is. Now we're going to get back to some more of your questions. Here is another single length iron question, and this one comes from Ohio Golf Vlogs again. You talk about single length clubs. I always had a question about single lengths. I figure the driver is standard, but does it start at the 3-wood and then go to the 5-wood if you bag one, 3-through pitch and wedge, then carry over to your degree wedges like your 50, 54, 60, all one length? Or are they only single length, 3-through pitch and wedge, then your wedges are in wedge length? Having a 3-wood at 7-iron length would have to kill distance. So many questions, like the Lord of the Rings. I get the appeal, one swing to rule them all. It's a great question. And if you go back and you watch that video and you look at these replies, I'm not going to read through all of them because there's 5 and it gets really in depth. But he had a slew of responses come to him. But I'm going to try and sum up what I believe to be what's happening with the single length iron. So I don't know that there is only one way that they build a single length set that is like, yep, this is it. This is what you get with single length. You're done. Now, if you're talking about a custom set that's built for you, obviously you can do anything you want to do. If you're talking about Cobra, or if you're talking about Sterling or any of those companies, most of the time they will take a 6-iron or a 7-iron length and they will build your set of 3-through pitch and wedge or whatever it is that you're getting built to that size. However, a lot of things that I'm reading online, a lot of things I'm seeing and hearing from people is that your wedges as well can be made that single length. And then you can also do the single length hybrids that would be the same length as your 6 or 7 iron or whatever it is that you matched up. And then you can even cut down your driver a little bit if you want to. As far as a 3-wood, that I think would be somewhere in between your driver and your hybrids, I'm guessing, as it is now. But really, I think you can get done whatever you want to get done with them. If there's a standard, I'm sure that there are some standards that are what you would call the most common ways that they're made. But I don't know that there is any steadfast rule on it. However, I think that one of the sort of staples is that you go with a 6 or a 7-iron length and match everything up to it, and even your wedges can come into play and be that same length. Then they have to play around with swing weights and trajectories and lofts and all of that too to make a really good set. So the answer is that there really is no definite answer. Sorry, it's cold out here, y'all. I gotta stay warm. Okay, next is from Thomas Fraser. Any thoughts about MSE? Now, if you don't know who or what MSE is, that is Cristo Garcia. He has a channel called My Swing Evolution that's been out for a while. He's a big-time Hogan fan. He's studied a lot of stuff about Hogan's swing, and he's a very talented golfer, and he has a really great channel. You should go check it out. He's about to sell yet another new video on the Hogan Code. I like his personality, enjoy watching him evolve his swing over the past 10 years, and we have shared swing thoughts with one another also. At any rate, I'm enjoying both of your insights in the golf swing, so I will keep watching. Cheers. Now, Thomas leaves some more replies and comments down below that. If you'd like to go see him, go back and check out those comments. But he asked me on my thoughts on MSE, and I already gave you some of them. I think Cristo has really grooved in, and you can tell that he's a grinder. He has really dug it out of the dirt like Hogan has. And I think Hogan is kind of his icon, his hero. And I think he was actually involved with some stuff on the Golf Channel about, it was a Hogan documentary or a movie. I haven't seen it, but I've been into the Ben Hogan lore for years. He was my favorite golfer for the longest time. So I've got a big frame picture of him, and I've kind of got a little bit of a soft spot for Ben Hogan myself. But that's what Cristo does is not only that, but he studies the golf swing. And his channel is My Swing Evolution, MSE. He releases videos and DVDs. He's got his YouTube channel. You got to go check him out. Go see his stuff. It's more than Ben Hogan. It's more than Ben Hogan. He's into fitness. I mean, I think he does yoga and martial arts. The guy looks like, he's made out of metal. So definitely go check him out. And he's on Instagram as well. Find him on Instagram and you can follow him on there. All right, this next one is from Scott Gray. He says, how do you clear your mind before every golf shot? With all the different golf swings you endure yourself to, I know when I spent time watching helpful golf videos, I would go out and think some more before swinging the club, and the results are never good. Thanks for all your videos. I enjoy watching them. Scott, I appreciate that question. That is a very good question. Everybody's heard the paralysis by analysis, and I've had it happen to me. I've had it happen to me several times, and it's been during the course of all of this exploration and trying out all of these different swings, and I think I mentioned it in another video. Sometimes I get over the ball and I'm thinking, what am I doing? What's next? What starts the swing? What starts the swing? Thoughts like that are just You can't play good golf with thoughts like that. You can't. I'm telling you, that just makes for some really bad golf. And like I've told you guys before, if you want to play good golf, then do not jump around from method to method the way I do. It is detrimental to your golf game. If you want to destroy it, that's a really good way to do it. That's a really good way to do it and confuse the hell out of the situation. As far as what I do to clear my mind before every golf shot, I'm not always able to do that. Now, working with Sean recently, I'm able to get my mind in the right place. I don't know that my mind could ever be cleared necessarily. I think I always have something buzzing around. So instead of trying to clear it, I try and give it the right points of focus. And in giving it the right points of focus, especially in regards to working with Sean, it becomes, what is your task? What are you going to be doing? Are you cutting a dandelion stem, throwing into the picture that way? Those are the thoughts that need to be on the front burner of your brain. So it's not necessarily, for me anyway, about clearing my mind and going brainless, because it's really hard for me to turn my thoughts and my brain off. So instead, what I need to do is give myself something that's correct to focus on. This next one is from Jertunes, or Jertunes. Maybe I'm butchering that name, I don't know. He says, I've experimented with several of the swings that you have covered in the past few years. If you search Veneto's golf swing fade, you get the video of the swing that I find the easiest. I know Jim V has talked about the better spin and ball flight with a little draw, but I've struggled with setting my shoulders 45 degrees and have my trail foot staggered. I put most of my weight on the lead foot and think about keeping still in the swing until impact, and the results are good. That's excellent. And I know which video you're talking about because, clearly I did a deep dive down the Jim Veneto's golf swing rabbit hole. And I know exactly what you're talking about, the fade swing. I've seen that video. And, as Jim says, in his videos, everybody thinks that, they come up to him and they say, oh, all you're ever going to do is hit just hooks, weak hooks. And it's like, no, you can clearly tell that he hits fades, he hits draws, he hits high, he hits low. I mean, the swing method, the approach to it, it's all in the setup. So what you preset at address, as long as you stay still, you will get the result that you need. I think with his fade swing, he says all you do is you just kind of hold it off just a little, not too much. And that's really the only difference. So, good stuff. Chris Mitchell says, great stuff. I have the Sky Caddy, and I think it is pretty close on the carry and such. Always love the Bionic gloves. Thanks for that, Chris. I've been talking with some people at Voice Caddy, and I'm trying to get one for the channel. So put a pin in that one, because if I can get one for out here and I can get the data off of it, I think it'll be good for the videos. I think it would give everybody some really good information and, give us some context. So I'm working on that, but nothing yet. Just give me a little time. All right, now this next one is from Alan Robshaw. I have enjoyed your videos since you were working with Jim Veneto, so I was trying his system at the same time. I've also tried the Brian Sparks method, which included a day's course. I've tried the Sean Clement method and purchased the videos back in 2008. I've tried the right-sided swing method. I have tried the One Atomic Golf methods, which included the Da Vinci Code and Channel Lock. I've tried the passive golf. Now look, you just said passive golf swing. I'm going to get into this in the future. Okay, I don't want to spoil anything, but I'll get into it in the future. But Ron Del Barrio, passive golf swing, spoken to Ron many times now. I definitely know of the passive golf method, and I definitely know of Ron Del Barrio. Ron Del Barrio's a really cool guy. If you haven't gone to check that out, go onto YouTube and search Ron Del Barrio, DEL space BARRIO, Ron Del Barrio. Or you could look up the passive golf method. There are a few videos on there on YouTube of it, and it's got enough in there to kind of get you started a little bit on it, but he's out in California, gives a lot of lessons still, and he was always known as the golf coach to the stars. You have to go look Ron up and give him some love and tell him that the Golf Test Dummy said hello. Anyway, back to the question, which included the purchase of his video. I have tried the David Blair method, which again included a video purchase, etc., etc., etc. I started playing at the age of 47 and got to an 18 handicap within a year. 24 years later, I'm still an 18 handicapper. When I am confident, I hit the ball further and straighter than I've ever done, but But unfortunately, the confidence never lasts very long. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but I get bored very quickly, even when I'm playing well. And as soon as things go wrong, I move on to something new. Now, that really speaks to a lot of us, doesn't it? If you search your soul and you ask yourself, a lot of times it's that it can't be this simple. Oh, this is boring. Now I need to add something else. Or, okay, I've got that down. Now let's add more distance. Now let's start hooking the ball. You know, it's always something. It can never just be enough. You can never be satisfied. To give you an example of my stupidity, if I'm hitting my clubs well at the range, I would dig out a club, maybe a 2-iron, or my driver to find a club that I can't hit and totally ruin my rhythm. But never mind, the exercise is keeping me very fit, except at the moment as we are in total lockdown in England. Thanks for that one. And yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in there. And I understand exactly where so many of you guys are coming from. And it's really the reason that the channel was started is, you know, I started out as an average golfer. I like to think now I'm a little bit better than average, but you know, what is a little bit better than average, honestly? If we go by the stats, then we know that average is somewhere around an 18 to 20 handicap. Well, I know I'm better than an 18 or 20 handicap. I imagine many of you are out there are better than an 18 to 20 handicap, so you can kind of relish in the fact that you're above average. But am I a 4 handicap? Am I a 2 handicap? Am I a 6 handicap? No. I do hope that one day, you know, that 5, 6 handicap range will be, you know, something that I can achieve. I do hope that that happens, but it takes grinding, it takes work, it takes a lot of things, and it definitely does not take what I do here. I just can't say this enough, that if you want to improve your game, that really, and you ask my opinion after all of this that I've done, and granted, I'm not a coach, I'm not a pro, but I try to give my honest opinions here, to be as honest as I can. And if you want that truth from me and my experience, floundering around between method to method to method, or trying these one-off tips where it's like, put your hand like this to cure your slice, that stuff doesn't work. It doesn't work. It just makes things so much worse. What I do with my golf swing makes things so much worse. And a lot of people ask me, what are you doing then? Why are you doing that? Look, at some point, I'm going to get off of this experiment train. But I didn't want to do it as of yet until I had created enough of a body of work to say that I've explored all kinds of different golf methods. But at some point, if I want to move forward and I want to be a better golfer, I want to become a skilled golfer, at some point I'm going to have to pick a lane and stick to it. I think it's coming sooner rather than later. And honestly, this year may be that year that I choose my path, and that I finally say, okay, that's enough experimenting. I've created a big enough body of work now. That's it. I can leave that behind, and I can say that this is the path for me. And I can start walking that path towards better golf. And when you do, and when you choose that path, and when you commit to it, and then you have to put in the work. You have to grind. You have to commit and put in the effort. Goals without hard work are just dreams. And I've had plenty of dreams, but I've got plenty of goals left to achieve. And I know that if you have goals, you've got to do the same thing. You've got to pick a lane, commit to it. Hopefully, through watching all of these videos that you've seen of me and all these trials that I've gone through, you've gotten some perspective and you see what maybe somebody like me can get from all of this. And we all learn a little bit. So pick a lane, stick with it, and just grind it out and keep pushing. And even if you're not seeing results right away, sometimes it comes slow as a trickle, and then other times it builds and builds pressure until finally the dam explodes. You've got no way of knowing how that's going to happen for you, but you have to know that if you continue to put in the effort and you stay the course and you stay disciplined and you keep your eye on the prize, that you will get there eventually. You will make progress. It will happen for you. So until next time, don't forget to go down and leave me the response to what should be in the bag for me. It can include something that you believe personally that I would benefit from. It can be your own set of clubs and say, hey, this has served me well. You look like you're built about like me. You swing like me. Try these. It can be something as simple as changing my grips, or it could also be to leave my bag exactly the way it is, that it's perfectly fine. In any event, I expect a whole lot of single length comments to come out of that, and people are going to be telling me to buy Kerber single length clubs or Sterling single length clubs, and I look forward to seeing those comments as well. Anyway, until next Sunday, guys, I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.